Hi there, Tony here from the Build and Grow 21 channel. Wanted to bring you a little more of a detailed update on something for fun I did a year ago. Titled the ugly truth or the dirty truth about raising quail. Well, meant it in a fun way, but raising quail requires work just like growing all the food does around here. So I got some things I'm cleaning up from the quail pen and some things I've got ready here like pine shavings for their bedding. But right now, I wanted to show, not only the work involved, because it's not all joy, just come pick your eggs and that's it. Yesterday, I had to come in and examine the other rooster. The white rooster wasn't walking well, was hobbling, and looked like somehow he had gotten his leg beat up and chewed on, and uh, he needed to be dispatched, and that's what happened yesterday. So now we're down to one rooster here. Okay. And then we have 12 laying hens. But a couple of these hens, I think, are not really laying well, and I want to figure out which ones. So, reverting them back to the cage system for a bit of observation, easier maintenance, easier cleanup until I know who's producing eggs and who's freeloading. Um, we're going to keep them like that. But in the meantime, I'll come in and I'll spray here with some more disinfectant and maybe some permethrin to keep any mites down. I'll probably spray the birds too. But a couple things that make this handy is a big trash bin I come in about once a week to clean up or to roll up the plastic. Today I'm able to do a pretty good job of cleaning with my trusty rigid shop vacuum, right? I'll come in and I'll drain that water out next with the shop vac and then be able to refill that water and keep them replenished. Um, and I'll fill up their food trays accordingly. But I think for right now, I'm going to keep them separated till I can figure out who the egg layers are and aren't, um, because that'll influence. Of the 8, we now have 8 brand new chickadees. Um, so of the 8 here, right? How many are hens that'll produce eggs? And once we figure that out, it'll take a few weeks. So I want to keep that other rooster alive till I know I've got new roosters in here, maybe at least 2. And then if I need to raise about another half dozen of egg layers only, that would be good for a little while. And then if these are all tend to turn out to be roosters, which I don't think so, they're all pretty timid. Usually by about 1 week. Right now you hear somebody trying to crow, and I really don't hear that coming, but I'm sure there's a couple in here. Anyway, want to be able to make sure that they're going to be ready to grow and lay eggs. If it all turns out that these are all hens, then that would be wonderful. I won't need to raise another crop of hens. And what I'll do is keep that rooster there, right, the one that keeps barking, to fertilize some more eggs and then try to get a couple of roosters from there. So again, the first couple of weeks of raising quail here, it's a little unknown. You deal with some things until you figure out what their sex is, and then that'll give you an idea how many eggs will be coming on a daily basis. So it's not bad, but I think, and plus because I cleaned up, today's count isn't really accurate there. I think that's 10 eggs, and I've got 12 hens, and it's been, normally they're a 1 egg every 30 hours or so if they're working it right? But they have their kind of times of days too, but it all varies a lot. And it'll change a little more and become a little more regular and easier to clock and easier to determine if anybody isn't producing. And then we'll help them get to the freezer too. So next thing I'll do here is, like I said, spray. I'll put in a bunch of pine shavings. I'll put in their food here, which is really just going to go into their tray. I'm not going to worry about the regular food bucket, which is there, or their water bucket. I'll clean it, but I think I can keep them in there for a couple of days and just manage their food intake that way. A lot easier, and really hygienic way of getting the eggs, because when the eggs do come down, they roll down right in here. So right here, they just roll down here from up in there, and we'll see. So again, the dirty truth is, yeah, they get dirty, they make a mess, you got to clean. They poop as much as they eat, if not more. They make some noise, and sometimes you have to call the herd, and you can't do anything about that other than accept it for what it is. But it's a good thing. It's all part of the process. And hell, after a year, dozen birds out of about 12 out of 14 hens that have been producing for me are left. And we're down to one rooster after several along the way. So 15-month project so far, and hundreds of eggs, and a bit of freezer meat, just maybe under 2.5 pounds. All right, there you have it for now. The dirty truth behind raising quail.